Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Hope you all had a great day and are enjoying DeFi Live. It's a great event, and it's an honor to be here with you guys and present in front of you. My name is Luthra. I'm here to give you a small background about myself and what I believe is Metaverses, player-to-earn gaming, and the new world order. I got involved in the technology space pretty early on. I started building iPhone apps at about 13 years of age. We're the first few hundred people in the world to build apps for the iPhone. Built about 30 plus apps before I sold my first company at 17. I made a couple million from that and started investing that back into what I understand best, which is technology. So I made over 100 different equity investments, and in 2014, for the first time, I came across Bitcoin. Originally because Coinbase was offering $5 to refer new users to Bitcoin. I'd already gained a few 100,000 followers online by then, so I'd start to tell my followers about buying Bitcoin. Interesting fact is that everybody who's ever bought Bitcoin till today and past the history of Bitcoin has all done really, really well because Bitcoin's at all-time high as we speak. Every person I referred that got me paid $5 from Coinbase is now worth itself is over $500, each of those referrals. I did a lot more investments, but didn't really get involved in the crypto space as an active investor until 2017, when I was early in a few companies and helped take a few companies to market. I invested equity in companies like XRP Ripple, Hedera, a few more of the top companies of today, and then helped a few other token projects to bring them to market. Over the last few years, I've been very active in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. I've traveled to over 25 countries, speaking at over 100 events like this, live in person. I write for Cointelegraph, I write for Forbes, I write for Cryptonomics, I write for a lot of different top-tier media about the upcoming trends in the crypto space. I wrote about player-to-earn gaming, about how it's going to bring the next adoption in blockchain, and this is what we're seeing right now. I wrote about Metaverses and what we're seeing right now. In the last 6 months, I made about 170 private sale investments. That's 10 short of one investment every single day. Majority of my investments have been around player-to-earn gaming. About 50 plus of those investments were in the player-to-earn space. Having invested in so many of these games and also having advised a few of these games, taking them to market and seeing the kind of growth that we have seen where every single, each of these companies that I advised, every single private sale and public sale investor made over 5,000 to 10,000% returns in their investment. And this experience has made me come to realize a lot of different things. I've realized how the world we're going to live in is very different from the world that we live in today. Before we move ahead, let me get a show of hands of how many of you think you know what the Metaverse is? So very few hands I see who think they know what a Metaverse is. So I'm pretty sure most of you already heard about Facebook changing its name to Meta. Facebook owns WhatsApp, they own Instagram, arguably three of the top most used and downloaded apps in the world. Facebook is in the business of keeping your attention. Facebook runs around keeping your attention. Facebook makes money by getting your attention. So why would the largest social media company in the world change its name to Meta and get the stock ticker Metaverse, MVRS? It's because most people think the Metaverse is a virtual place, like we see in the movies, like Ready Player One. You know, you wear a headset and you live in this virtual world. But I think it's wrong. It's not a time or it's not a place. The Metaverse, it's a time. It's a moment in time. In artificial intelligence, you have the idea of singularity. It's that moment in time when artificial intelligence becomes better and stronger than human intelligence. That's when we call it the singularity. The Metaverse is a moment in time when your digital life is worth more to you than your physical life. And this is not an overnight change. This has already been happening for many, many years now. And it's a gradual change that's been happening over the last couple of decades. It's not being bought by one individual like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg, but it's a process that's happened gradually by technology expanding more and more into our lives. Every important part of our life is going digital. Work, from factories to laptops, from boardrooms to Zoom calls. Friends, from making friends with your neighbors to where do you find your like-minded people now? You find them on Twitter and on Tinder. So games, more kids play Fortnite than basketball and football combined. I will touch upon gaming a little bit more, but that's the idea. Identity. Filters are the new makeup. Stories are your personal billboard to broadcast to the world who you are. What matters more, how you look in your real life or how do you look on Instagram? As everything goes digital, your friends, your job, your identity, and now your crypto, your assets are also online. So now you have your financial assets also online. That leads us to what we are seeing now in the markets where the Bored Apes or the CryptoPunks are the new Rolexes. They're the new Ferraris. Fortnite skins are the new skinny jeans. So if everybody hangs out online all the time, then your flexes need to be digital. So if you play this forward another 10 to 20 years, you will cross into the metaverse. That moment in time when digital life matters more than your physical life is defined as the metaverse. So our attention used to be 99% on the physical world. As I'm already seeing here, a lot of you are on your phones. So TVs dropped our attention from the physical world to the digital world to 80%. Computers dropped our attention from physical to digital to 60%. Phones dropped our attention to almost 50%. We're spending half our time in the digital world. So as our attention has been sucked from the physical to the digital, and where our attention goes is where our energy goes. And if 50% of our attention is on digital screens, then 50% of our energy will go towards this digital life. Today, it still takes some time and effort to take your phone out and stare at your screen. But it's gonna happen, and it's already happened in the past. I was one of the first 10 people in the world to use Google Glasses. I had a screen in front of my eyes at all times, 24/7, 99% of the time, but I think it was too early for its time. This was in 2013, so it was too early for its time. But now, some company like Apple is gonna come out with glasses that's gonna have your screen in front of your eyes at all times. We will go from 50% attention to screens to 90% attention to screens. And that is the moment in time when Metaverse starts. Because at that moment, our virtual life will become far more important to us than our digital lives. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Like anything, it's neither good or it's not bad. It's just a very different thing. If you ask me personally, I'm very blessed and fortunate to be able to say this, but I don't see myself spending too much time in the metaverse. I love my life. I go out every day. I meet friends every day. I travel the world. I see a lot of the things that the world has to offer. But I'm in a very blessed and fortunate position to be able to say that. And I also understand that because I come from a country like India, where 600 million people don't make more than $300 a month, and they got access to the internet for the first time in 2017. That's almost the same size as the population all of Europe and twice the population in North America. And then there are more developing countries like India that sit in the same bracket. So if you think about it, there's 600 million people who got access to the internet for the first time. What do you think they did? They started using TikTok. TikTok saw the most massive growth ever. The same time it took Instagram so many years to grow, TikTok grew in 1 year because all these people had the time, they had attention that they were able to spend in the digital world. And as we see this, that's how Metaverse comes into the play. You have this whole large part of the world that can go and enjoy what the Metaverse has to offer them without having to spend money, which they don't have too much of, but by having to use their attention, which they have a lot of. And now how we're seeing in the recent, I don't know how many of you stay abreast with what happens in crypto, but if you've been seeing recently, most of the adoption in blockchain and crypto has come from play-to-earn gaming. Axie Infinity is a great example of that, which is a play-to-earn game built on the blockchain that has hundreds of thousands of people in the Philippines playing this game every single day. So they spend all their time playing this game, they make money, and then they earn skins and assets inside the game as an NFT that they sell to other people, more blessed, more fortunate people from the US or from the Europe who would rather spend money to buy these skins to advance themselves further in the game right away instead of having to put in the effort and the attention they would need to start from scratch. And this is how we're seeing how the new world order and how the new economy is being created. I mean, this is, Axie Infinity is probably one of the largest employers, as we say, in the Philippines. It's got 400,000 people playing, from 10-year-old kids to 50-year-old grandmas. So this is what we're seeing already in the gaming space. And as a blockchain game, it has more transactions than all the other blockchain products combined on many different chains. So if you combine all the other innovation that's happened in the space and all the products, the same amount of transactions are done by one single game. Splinterlands is another great example. So that's what I mean when I say that play-to-earn gaming is going to change how we work, how we live, and how we enjoy our lives. Because now you're not only playing to enjoy, you're playing to work, you're playing to live. And I think as we go more and more into the metaverse, as we live more and more digital lives, this will go into every aspect of life. Already there are projects that I've invested in that are now trying to do learn to earn. I didn't go to any university or any formal education because I was not incentivized enough. And like most people that I know who do go to university, they don't really study something they're passionate about. It's more like a chore, feels like a task. But now when you bring in the mix of learn to earn, where your assets are online and you get this benefit and you gamify it and you earn NFTs or coins to learn, you align incentives, and that's when you see maximum potential and maximum growth. My idea to come here today was to tell you here and all the other millions of people who follow me, you'll probably see this after, was to give you the idea of what really Metaverse is and where I see the world moving. And the sooner you realize that, the better it is for you. And if you do come across opportunities, you will find how for the new world order you can build tools and products that will change how we live, work, and enjoy today, and how the Metaverse will play a very significant role. So yeah, thank you guys. The idea was to give you a brief idea and clear the misconception of what a Metaverse really is. And if anybody here has great ideas, is looking for investment, is looking for opportunity and support, I'm very approachable. You can reach out to me at evan@evanluthra.com. You can follow me on Instagram, and always happy to work with new entrepreneurs. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. To the moon.